All right, we back. We back. Had a little technical difficulties, but guess what? I got it figured out. I got it all figured out, man. We back. And we are back. We back. Come on in, man. We back live. Had a little technical difficulties there earlier, but we back. And like I say, man, sometimes the conversations have to be had, man. The conversations have to be had. You know, I know a lot of people don't like talking, but conversations that have to be had. Conversation means the most part of conversations that make that we was talking about the slave mentality, what, what it takes, but what it takes around the world, though. Around the world, it takes people around the world, our people around the world, to come together to make represent anything. A while back, I know you was speaking to me on some real shit. Put a post
Man,
on my community. Let me
man,
let me
this damn glad I can't get rid of it.
see if I can go to it. I post the dollar in the black community. It said, "Wow, this is the." There was a comment I made. I say, "Wow, this is the addition to all our people." I say the common return in money circulation in communities or to the end of peace in other organizations suggest that the black dollar is unregulated. Studies say that the average of, of approximately 20 days Asian in an Asian community, 19 days in a Jewish community, 17 days in a white community, and only 6 hours in the black community.
6 hours,
6 hours, not even a day.
man.
Day.
That,
One day.
and the Chinese people dollar stay in their community 19 days.
28 days in an Asian community.
You say 28?
28. Damn near.
Wow. I mean, like, why is that though? Like, can you break that down?
Shit, it's simple. Why is it? Because Asians, what's the difference between Asians? What's the difference between Jewish? What's the difference between okay? Those people help each other.
Okay.
People look out for each other. What
Okay.
do we do in our community? Oh, David
Look
got
out for stuff.
a house. He said, "Good." Oh, David got a nice house. Oh, how he get it? Oh, he robbed a bank. In our community, we be in competition with each other. We
Exactly.
each other. What all the other races are out here helping each other. Because you
Hmm.
know what? If like I said today, I said if I'm a billionaire, my goal is to be helping the next million become a billionaire. If I
Okay.
My goal is to be helping the next thousand now to become a million.
100 now. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now my mindset is supposed to be helping the next motherfucker who making some hundreds to teach him how to make thousands. That's how
Right.
it be. generational wealth if you are killing
Right.
it. Now we're saying that's a 6 hours right then. We give it another 10, 20 years, that down to goddamn 3.
Right.
Eventually, it ain't gonna be worth shit.
Right.
Just keep deteriorating because our people are in competition with each other. We want to keep doing just what we do. When we do make it, when we do become successful, that's what we go make the white folks. We want the Gucci, we want the Louis, we want the Fendi, we want the Prada, we want this big ass house that costs $30,000, $40,000 to. You get what I'm saying? Shit that makes no sense. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't understand it. If I was a millionaire, I still want to live like I still want to live. I would like a nice house, but I'm not gonna say, oh, I need a house that I got to pay $20,000 a month. Maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
makes sense.
Mm-mm.
It's not, they say $20,000 a year. So if
Mm-hmm.
$1,000 on maintenance, I might as well sponsor a family that I can write off on my taxes. And guess what? They have to help they.
Mm-hmm.
We've been so. This is the whole that Kanye was talking about. People are so stupid. When they talk about Harry Tubman and people escaping the Underground Railroad, everybody didn't leave. Guess what? How they got on that trail? The motherfucker that stayed behind, he told. They went that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but then you want to blame another motherfucker because you still there. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
saying get out. What we do as a we gonna hate on David if David get a promotion at work. Oh, we gonna make you the supervisor. Oh, he was, but you ain't got you do not. You been a hard worker, don't you? Come to work when don't work, don't you come to work on shit. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? That's our people. That's how we think. I think about five dumb shit.
Yeah, you breaking up, right? It's like right when you making the question, the point, it'll break up right there. That now I'd be straining trying to hear what you're saying. But I'm catching the glimpse of what you said. It's basically pulling one another down and not building and investing in one another. And that's so funny because like I do heating and cooling.
Right.
So I'm all over the city in a lot of different people houses from different classes, like from the hood, to mansions. You know what I'm saying? And often I would talk to the people who I'm doing work with, and just get a gauge of how they feel or what matters to them. And it's the same thing that matters to me. And we have good conversation, but we recognize the problem, but nobody has really come up with the solution. And that is what we need. We just need a solution. And a lot of the dysfunction that we see in our neighborhoods, I feel like is is on purpose. Like somebody is behind it. You know, and I say that because of all the people that I come in contact with that are like minded like me. And for me to continue to see or hear what I see on the news or even see what I see with the police all the time, running back and forth, coming to this scene, going to that scene or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, it just don't make sense. It don't make it's like it don't make sense with the people. And that's who I'm talking to. The people, not the game makers, not what I'm saying, nobody, just all the good people in Chicago that I run across. It just don't really make no sense how we're not able to come together to form the solution. And I'm saying even in just the black community, it's a lot of knowledgeable, kind-hearted, loving, want to see us prosper, but they don't really know how to. And so what they got to do is just take care of theirs. You know what I'm saying? We
Right.
like in that type of position where We just got to make sure we straight because we don't know. You know what I'm saying? We just don't know. You know, and then the politicians don't make it no better because we don't know if they for us. You know what I'm saying? So it's like um, pretty much being stuck in a rock in a hard place almost. You know what I mean? But uh, but I believe that the rock and hard place will eventually
But see,
bring it to
like
the point
look
that we
at this.
unify.
Look at this right here. This comment here say, sorry, Jim, I thought your line was regarding R.Kelly. Now the lie, all of this we talking about reverse back to R.Kelly and what we were talking about the city of Chicago and what it's going to take to help R.Kelly. But then you
Right,
have people come in and say, oh, I thought the lie was about R.Kelly. Apparently, they must have just came in the live or whatever the situation may be, because pretty much what we've been talking about is the corruption in a lot of the things and what it's going to take for us to see a change in how people represent R.Kelly. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take the people. We made the reference to, Kanye West making a statement about, the situation about slavery. So I really referenced that to get people to understand that the power is in the numbers. The power will always be in the numbers. So
right,
therefore, if you only got 10 or 15 people out here saying free R. Kelly, but Chicago got over 3 million, 4, 5 million, however many million of people, residents living
right,
there, what the fuck
right,
is 20 people?
right.
That's
Exactly.
nothing.
I mean, you're making a good point when you say that Chicago, if Chicago stood up, then it would actually say something. You know what I'm saying? And we here, you know, yeah, I feel you. Chicago should stand up. So I mean, and it does all come back to it because we dealing with all this in the city. So it's like a greater power, if you ask me.
What up, Style? Right, Style is bigger than R. Kelly, but Miss Cookie, I don't understand. I didn't understand what. I mean, she had to be came in when we was just segueing into different things, but all of this shit that we're talking about, it revert back to the support. What it would mean for people to support what's going on with R. Kelly. Not even if you don't agree with certain things, just hold the district attorney accountable to where it's fair. Make it fair. You know what I'm saying? Not what we've been seeing for the last 3 years, a witch hunt. If y'all say he
Right.
done this shit, what we want you to do, district attorney, we want you to show us what he did.
What he did, that's all. Prove it.
Show us what he did.
I mean, they
That's it.
supposed to had so much information in the first place, and ain't nobody seen none of that information that they was talking about. They had. So, especially in Chicago or wherever they at, just prove the fact, bring the
Right
facts
style.
out.
Go ahead, I'm listening. We listening. Styles is another lady. She has a real good. She speaks her mind too, and she has a real strong opinion about a lot of this stuff. She comes on the live as
Yeah,
well from
I
time
agree
to
with that
time.
statement. I agree with that statement. Standing outside screaming at doing shit either. Ain't doing shit either. New times, new strategy. Absolutely. Absolutely. But there is a time when, just standing up. I mean, just even if black people just stood up.
That's it.
That's it. I mean, the fact that they don't do that. If they did that, and it would, man, it
It
would,
will send a
man,
message around
it
the
would,
world.
man,
You know what I'm
around the
saying?
world.
One thing they have never wanted us to do was the one thing no race ever wanted us to do as brown skinned people. They never wanted us to unify. They
Right,
always try to figure out a way to keep us divided because they understand
right,
if they all come together, we are the most naturally gifted people on this planet.
right.
We don't have to work for a lot of shit that we can naturally do. We are born with it.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? They always knew when you go back to the history of why they created school, they created schooling to be able to control the minds of your children. We're gonna adopt the minds of these children to keep them to thinking, what we want them to think. They created
Right.
religion. Religion was created to control. A lot of this shit was it was all about control. And who are the most controlled people on this fucking planet? Black people. Guess what? They know they can dangle money in our face. They can give us a position. They can gift us shit. They can do anything. Anytime they sit here giving you millions of dollars for killing your goddamn family member, what should that tell you? You killed my son, but here go you $1 million. Shut the fuck up. Go on about your business.
Mm-hmm.
The police officer get relocated to a different jurisdiction and he's still police. Come on, man.
Yeah, so that's the thing, man. So my thing is, if I'm talking about like if black people stood up, like just stood up, he came to court and just came out with no signs, with no saying nothing. They don't have to say nothing.
We just here to see what's going on. We ain't got nothing to say. None. We just want to see what's going on.
Just to show up with send ripples. I mean, that's just me in my opinion. People may think that's old, but black people have never done it, or they haven't done it since then. And their movement then was so powerful that even today it still has effect. And I'm talking about Martin Luther King,
right?
And how they move. It's similar. We actually got to do something similar to that, because the forces that we fighting with is too violent, and we're not really big enough to just go at them like that. So we kind of got to use their system against them. What they trying to do, and see, since we getting mature enough to know the system, a lot more of us now. They're trying to change
the totem pole. They want to keep moving the goalpost.
And that's what I'm saying. We can't let them do that. You know what I'm saying? That's the part that I'm trying to stand on right there, because we learning the law. We learning how you got to have evidence. You got to have the people who are accusing to come forward, and we all knew that, but we just becoming more aware as a whole country, as a whole community, of the court process, and what is acceptable and not acceptable. And what they have been doing is not acceptable. And so we cannot accept how they've been treating R.Kelly, whether he is guilty or innocent. We need them to find him guilty the right way.
The right
process. That's all we saying.
And that's why you hear the judge say, ignorance to the law is no excuse. That shit was put in court for that. That sign that sit over the judge when you go in that courtroom, ignorance to the law is no excuse. That was put in there for niggas. Because they know we don't know.
Right.
We don't know if the police pull us over and ask to search our car, we got the right to tell them no.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of shit we just not educated about.
Exactly. And it's our interaction with the police as opposed to a white person interaction with the police. I never forget one time, man, I was driving by Midway Airport, me and a couple of my guys, and police got behind us to pull us over. Long story short, something was wrong where they was taking me in. But on the way of taking me in, it was this white lady came, ran on side of the police, and then cut the police off, like straight up cut the police off, right? So of course the police lady who arrested me, she was on the car, you know what I'm saying? Pull up, it's a white lady. White lady start cursing the police like you know what I'm saying? What the you know what I'm saying? Woo, 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 woo. Right. And I was, and the police rolled past, and I was like, oh, so that's what this is, how this you write this, woo, 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 woo. And so the lady, she was trying to explain to me that she could not arrest the lady and have me at the same time, it's like a conflict or whatever. So, but I shamed the lady and she let me go. But that was my first time seeing how the white people talk to the police and interact with police, like like the concept of you work for us and not, you don't have the right to just, whatever. So that was the first time I kind of seen it up close like that. So it is a difference, you know what I'm saying? So
Style said, I think you were saying that last night everybody has a part to play to make everything come together. It's like the body of Christ. All can't be a foot, hand, or a mouth, but together they work good. Right.
Absolutely.
It's gonna take everybody. It's gonna take everybody doing their part and everybody figuring out. I always say one thing. I say, well, we need to isolate some of these strategies. Like when it comes to some of these people, we need to put us. I always say, I feel like it'll be way more clearer for people to understand. If you assign bloggers to be able to break down certain aspects. So on one on one channel you go to, they talking about the charges. On the on another channel, they just dedicated to talking about the accusers. You go to another channel, they talking about the music and the career. Then if you isolate it, because a lot of time when you come on these channels, we talk about a lot of different stuff. We bounce around over a lot of different topics and things like that. So some people may get it. Some people get lost and get off the live. They don't stay on the live long enough to listen to, some of the stuff that we be talking about, like you say. So when you trying to inform people who may not know about this case, this is why we said about the brochures. This was a great idea. We said we need to put out some brochures that has some of this important information in it pertaining to the case and some of the stuff that went on within this case. You put them brochures together, then we can just mail the brochures out to people who willing to go out and pass them out or put them on cars or whatever the situation may be. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna pick that brochure up and look at it and start reading and say, "Oh wow, they did what? Oh, this went on. How did
They
they
not
do
they
this?"
they not able to do that on Facebook and Instagram stuff.
But
They
on
can't do.
Facebook, depending on what you talk about with R.Kelly on Facebook, they gonna block you. Facebook, a motherfucker, man. I'm telling you, this how you know it's higher people in control of what's going on with this shit with R. Kelly, man.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
depending on what you talk about, depending on what you say, you can get your shit snatched down without even knowing it.
Yeah, and I'm not even familiar with all them rules yet. Now I be trying to be careful and shit because I be seeing that or hearing that you can't really get busy with your mouth like that. So
It ain't so much of the rules. It's when you hitting the right thing. You know what I'm saying? But I always say it
mhm.
like this: if we got civil rights activists in this country. If R. Kelly's civil rights was violated, his due process right was violated. What are these civil rights activists at?
That's a good point, man. That it's man, that's a great point right there. Where they at? Where the civil rights activists at? So that again, that's another dot. Civil rights people is not taking care of civil right things, but they is activists and all kind of other stuff. So it's like just another dot right there. So maybe you'll have a channel on just the civil rights people, you know what I'm saying, who not
Uh huh.
handling civil rights, you know what I'm saying? All these people is connected and they all is corrupt, man. And it's going from state to state, and it's a big old web of these people. And a lot of them, I've been hearing people saying like George Soros money. I don't know if that's one of the words you can't say, but a lot of these DAs been funded by George Soros and dirty money.
Right.
So
That's BLM.
right. You see what I'm saying? So that's connected from state to state. So they really got a web. They got politicians, they got judges, they got everybody,
But look
man.
at but look at this though, Dave. Look at how all these black motherfuckers came out in support of Jesse. Samuel
That's
Jackson,
yeah.
Taraji P. Henson, a bunch of celebrities, Michelle Obama.
And hey man, when you know what, this gonna be pissed off. This gonna piss on people. I'm gonna make some people laugh. I was on a service call, man, when Jesse Smollett got the sentence. I was listening to all the stuff that the judge said, and I said this is gonna be a great point for healing in Chicago if the judge do the right thing. So when I was listening to the judge say all that terrible stuff about Jesse, how he planted and then he rehearsed it, and then you know what I'm saying, he actually went through with it, and then how he kept the rope around his neck. I just knew the judge was gonna get a boy at least 3 years. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't. And I'm telling you, man, I started crying, man. I ain't lying, man. It's just out of nowhere. It was like, damn, man. They steady doing. I felt like they was doing us wrong. You know, a lot of people have been locked up, man, for bogus charges. You know, a lot of people been locked up for things they did, and you know, even with the things they did, they'll get railroaded. You know what I'm saying? And for those who didn't do what they got locked up for, it's just saying unfair. If they let Justice Smollett out like that or give him such a light sentence for, to me, what seemed to be such a, a potentially big crime
Yeah.
that would have messed up Chicago, for them to just let him off like that, man, it really hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying? And just thinking about all that, and man, it really, hey man, I don't know if anybody else out there feel like any other cat that come from the cloth rocker,
Hell
if they
yeah.
feel like that.
Man,
You
if
know
you
what
in
I'm saying?
prison though, David, if you start a riot in prison, who gonna get charged with inciting a riot?
You.
So this man now he could have incited a riot on the streets of Chicago, which could have burned Chicago down and cost them
Hmm.
millions and millions of dollars.
I will say this though, Chicago was way too smart to fall for that. I don't even know how they even thought that was gonna even do anything, Joe. The script is so unbelievable that I just don't even see what in the world that he thought. And thank God that the police was really on that right there. I appreciate that. My hats off to the police because they stopped that before it could have really been anything. So we
Then
did
come to
come.
find out, it's two black brothers. Now you now who walks around with a noose and a mega hat? Like, come on, man.
And see the mega hat thing, right? The mega hat, right? So listen, so you got people in Chicago that's Trump supporters, right? Chicago is a Democratic stronghold. I'm talking about, man. If you got to actually almost be keep it secret, bro. You know what I'm saying? And so I was in my little holes here and there, and I would conversate, and I'd be like, like, man, pointing out different things that dude was talking about, man. And listen, they was not having it. You know what I'm saying? So it's a Democratic stronghold, man. And they got, and I know I done just went off point right there, man. Well, I was just tripping on all the conversations I had for like the last 5 years, man. And Joe Biden, I would go back to the crime bill and the crack bill all the time, and people would just get a man a pass, and they would hate Donald Trump for something he said, and I would point out things and laws that Joe Biden
Biden
passed that
passed,
hurt
yes.
all
Man,
these people. You know what I'm saying?
Joe
And
Biden
y'all
even
just
said, I don't even want my kids to go to schools with black brown skinned people. I mean,
got predators, all that type of talk.
even Obama, man, you can't leave him out.
Nah,
Shit,
Obama.
Obama passed a law to where these police don't have to fucking be held accountable for killing motherfuckers in the street.
Obama did that.
Man, he passed the act. Oh, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it again. I'm gonna show you the act, man. And it's the act to declare martial law. Like when they was finna declare martial law up in St. Louis, when this shit was all around, when the first killing when they killed Michael
Michael
Brown.
Brown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, when you ever seen military? Man, you don't ever supposed to put no
And then people
military
don't
on.
realize that they happened under Obama's watch. That Mike
Yeah.
Brown happened under Freddie Gray happened under Obama's watch. Uh, is that not right? Did Freddie Gray down under
Freddie
Obama too?
Gray, the dude, the hoodie, Trayvon, all them,
Trayvon, all
all
them.
these killings.
And so, agenda comes to mind, man. Not, and I have to be careful with that. I'm just saying a lot happened under Obama and watch, man, that he was not here responsible
Shit,
for it. All that
he,
stuff was
but he passed the same sex marriage law.
right.
A black man passing a same sex marriage law And we know, I mean, come on, man. Just
Right.
biblically,
But you know what? That ain't even a color thing. That's just like when,
biblically,
yeah, that. But when that happened, um, that's when here in Charleston, South Carolina, that boy had went in there and shot up all them
the
people in
white
that
boy,
church.
Dylan Roof.
Yeah, and man, it was so eerie here around that time. Like I didn't know what was going on, but that night I felt scared. But before I found out anything was going on, but when his funeral came, Obama was on the stage downtown at them people's funeral, singing Amazing Grace, and all these Negroes was eating it up. Oh my God, that's my president. Blah, blah, blah. And what'd he do in the back door? That was the same exact day they passed the same-sex marriage. He didn't even know it was being looked at. What he did was open the gates of hell. That's why you see all this gender stuff and this. I mean, no, I have nothing against anybody. I have a stepdaughter that's getting ready to marry a young lady, but I just always felt like, why do you have to make it? Why can't they just have a domestic partnership and you get these people their insurance and the benefits of things? Because in my eyes, you're not, husband and however that goes. But it's like our world is so caught up in all that stuff, and that's how this mess sneak in our back door that we don't see coming. That's why people will listen to Biden feed them all this bull crap. Me, I look at politicians from a spiritual lens. I pray about it. Like, okay, Lord, who you want me to vote for? I ain't vote when Hillary. When I stood in line for an hour, y'all, when Hillary ran against Trump, but all I knew is I was not voting for Hillary because I did my research on her, and that lady ain't no joke.
Right. And the only reason why they voted for Biden, niggas did, because he was offered to get them some stimulus money. He offered them that stimulus money. They went down there and told them.
And do you realize? And you see how he's still using it as a tool. First he say he gonna do it, then he say he can't do it, then he give it to disabled people, then he come back and say, well, we're trying to work out how we can do it. Then he come back and say, well, I ain't gonna be able to give 50,000. I was like, boy, these Negroes. I got more faith in Trump giving some relief on student loans than that fool.
Man, look, man, he dangled that stimulus in front of them niggas. They
that's because we get out here on social media and be like, what about my student loans? No matter what he do, that nigga, I don't even want to call him a nigga. That fool was out there shaking the hand to the air last week. Did you see that one? When he got off the podium,
I ain't see that, but I saw forget his speech though.
He was acting like he was shaking somebody's hand. There wasn't nobody on the stage with him. That man got dementia.
Yeah, bad.
The thing that tripped me out is the double down of the people that voted for Biden. After a year and a half of saying exactly what he got to offer black people in particular, since we black.
They just play on our emotions.
And that's it. And it's so frustrating watching them play the emotions and people listen,
look, Dave, they should be in outrage right now. This man,
that's because we're emotional people and we misplace our emotions. We're not emotional and passionate in the areas.
He offered to give the people at the border $450,000 per family that has been separated at the border. This is Biden offered to give these families $450,000.
Hey, we should go to the border.
You see what I'm saying? So how you give LGBTQ people, the LGBTQ people reparations? So you mean to tell us? So you really saying fuck all you brown skinned people in this country?
I'm telling you, Jussie was protected. For one, he got both in him. And then he got the LG. If nothing else, you can say what you want about, the LGBTQ community. They stick together and they fight. They fight hard, So
they show up.
And that's why I'm not mad. That's why I'm not mad. I'm not mad at them because if you ask me, they really gave us the blueprint to how you work
get shit done
in America.
Look, even Satanists stick together.
Right.
It's all not bad, man.
We gotta fight each other.
We gotta tell. They want to bring r.Kelly down because he became famous and he became great doing what he doing, working hard. He worked hard to get where he at. His path wasn't just laid in front of him and say, "Here you go, walk." He had to create a path for himself. And like David said, now everything he probably done in his path to get to where he at was good. But at the end of the day,
none of us though. You know what I mean?
Nobody.
Like, none of us. Shit, I done been a pimp.
I ain't no style. Don't do that.
Hey, I wasn't down to sell it, but I knew how to sell my friends. Shit, ain't no shame in my game. I done been a pimp. I done been a robber. I done did a lot of stuff, but that
do what you gotta do to survive. And like I tell people,
that made up who I am today. You know, and I'm still growing.
Exactly, man.
I'm still growing. Shit, I used to steal and everything, and not because I had to. I come from a good family. I just did stupid shit.
Yeah,
and that's a lot of us. But see, a lot of us will look at R.Kelly. A lot of people look at R.Kelly like he the first nigga to ever get lied on. Now, he the first nigga that could ever did any of this shit that we hear.
If that's the case, I could put a whole bunch of people in jail because I was that little hot 17-year-old outside the school hopping in the car with the 27-year-old man that had the rims. No difference, you know what I'm saying? And I can, I hear people say that about him, but you can't even. Like one of my friends was like, she live in Chicago. She's like, man, all that shit bullshit. People just say what they hear other people say.
You see how you can accept accountability for everything that you've done? I can accept accountability for what I've done.
Well, I thought I was hiding until these little girls come up today. Hell, they doing shit I wouldn't even do now.
Oh, they got them a goddamn Beard Century with 300-some thousand miles on it. Still rolling at 19.
But like I told y'all the other night, it's all in the journey for Rob. Like
Rob, yeah.
It hurt, it bothers you because especially when you see that one interview where they had him to sing his life.
Yeah, I seen that.
And I didn't know he had gotten shot until that interview.
We got shot?
Yeah, he been shot before.
They shot him and took his bike. His mama told him he could ride 2 blocks. He was 14 years old. But you know what stood out to me on that interview was the part when he talked about when he came home and he didn't know his mom was sick. And when he left, she was a heavyset woman. But then when he went in the room, she was thin. And she didn't want him to see him like that. And remember, he was like, he apologized to her and he promised her he was going to become the biggest star ever.
Yeah.
Now, y'all in court telling us this man became the biggest star ever to get young girls. Right. That interview answers why he became the biggest star.
And Carrie and them got mad because they said R.Kelly didn't come.
Every time I watch that damn thing, I'd be crying because I'd be like, he just a human being. You know what I mean? And we threw that's our brother. We threw him under the bus.
And he did everything for the people. Half of us
been touched by somebody or done mess with somebody too young or too old. But when he do it, oh my God, he's a this and he's a that. You live in a whole household with a pedophile.
Right. When he accused of, he the worst motherfucker in the world because you can resonate with what he's been accused of because it happened to you.
But it's a secret. You still ain't gonna tell the truth.
What I'm saying? You ain't gonna tell the truth.
Man, I've been I changed church lady minds about R.Kelly.
Man, he said
I've been listening to this R.Kelly case. They like, I'm like, no, listen to this. First thing I hit him with, the mama told the girl to lie, and she was text messaging. They be like, for real?
Yeah,
now when they come, they be like, what's happening in the R.Kelly case? Now they all done flipped over, like, well, I hope he get out. Yeah, people don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't report the stuff. So when I tell them, they be like, how do you know all this? I'm like, because I follow a bunch of crazy people and a bunch of good people.
And that's all you got to do is follow the case. See, a lot of people speak, when you first ask them, they speak just off emotion. Man, fuck that nigga. He did that shit. Like me and
start dropping facts on them. Then they be like, wait a minute, what?
Hold on. What you say? Well, in that song, in that interview you talking about, he saying, I say, man, just imagine how a man talk about being dropped. He felt like he was just dropped out of the sky into this place called Earth. And he say, sometimes I feel like a fish. He said, I feel like a fish in the middle of the ocean. That means, just what a fish in the middle of the ocean is okay, but how the hell did he outgrew himself? He said, but sometimes I feel like a whale in a pond. Ain't no pond in this fucking world big enough for a whale.
Man, and the part where he talk about how he like his mind process, like how he talk about he used to be scared to sing, but he would sing in the shower. And the
Yeah,
sister would
his
tell him
sister
to
was
shut up.
always hating. She was
And
always
he would
hating. That's why she did that.
listen to his acoustics in the bathroom until he got the nerve to come out of the bathroom. And then when he went out to sing in the streets, he would look for that same sound. That's when he found it
In the air, in
in
the
the
subway.
subway.
Yeah,
Then
he
he
used
looked
to try to out
around and
sing
figured
the
out,
air.
how can I grab the crowd? Everybody got McDonald's. But they want to make it like this man go to McDonald's and pick up kids. He told you a whole story of how he loved McDonald's. Like he started singing in the train thing because he seen the people with the McDonald's and made up a
McDonald's,
tune, and
look,
they all
yeah.
start paying him a lot of money. I'm
He said he
like,
went from making $8 to
to
$100.
400.
Yeah, $500 a
Yeah,
day.
and then he did that part. Remember when they first put, before you seen that whole interview, and they put out the part when he said, "Oh, I used to go to McDonald's with my mom, and I would try to drink off the side of the cup." And people was like, "Oh, I knew it's something. Oh, you should know something from that." But when I heard the whole thing, that made me cry too, because he loved his mama because he didn't have his daddy. He wanted to know why he didn't have his daddy. He said they got closer because of that. And they used to go to McDonald's. She would cut the Danish. They would share it, and he would try to drink off her side. And then he said he wanted to marry her, but she said no. And I was like, people didn't realize that was coming from an 8 or 9-year-old point of view.
Right.
They wanted to make the man a monster based off a 20-second clip.
Oh, he tried to marry his mama. How can he marry his mama at 8 years old?
Hey, but these freaking creepy people, they don't really care about that.
Like, yo, their minds is so screwed up, they stupid.
David say these creepy people don't care about that.
8-year-old want to marry his mom. My son probably wanted to marry me before. He didn't understand.
You supposed to want to marry a woman that reminds you of your mother.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
like,
that man
like they
got
tell,
a
like
story.
that what you tell your daughter if you
right. That's usually what happened.
He said he never said the sky was the limit. He said he wanted to go to outer space. He don't want to be just R&B. They put this on me. He said he could sing everything. And what did he do? That's why I say R.Kelly done did everything that artist came to do. When he get out, he gonna be Robert. And then there's so much more that he's gonna do. Things you ain't think he's gonna do, he gonna do. Don't nobody, I'm telling y'all, these Negroes can get up on their page and talk about they giving freaking affirmations and all this bullshit. But when I hear from the spirit, like, he just down for now. You know what I mean? It's part of that building process. When he come out, his testimony gonna surpass so many people's thought process, because everybody stuck on what he did. Oh, he married Aaliyah. And all that's part of his process.
I'm gonna speak out to David, but I'm gonna say something to what you just said though, Style. What you were saying, David?
Shit, I lost the thought. Let's listen. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, but this is why I say, why would R. Kelly won't choke to tell his life story when he could get paid millions for telling his own story? The fuck you need him to talk about his life for? What sense does it make for R. Kelly to have another motherfucker speaking on his behalf about his life?
That nigga stupid. He wouldn't want him to tell his life story anyway. You want somebody credible and with a great voice, and that could make his story come alive. That was not R. Kelly's own story.
Nah, that motherfucker R. Kelly ain't asked that man to do none of that shit. But see, what I'm gonna tell you, one of the biggest things was fucked up with people. They don't understand that R. Kelly, he may have dyslexia, but he's way more intelligent than what people think.
A genius is a genius.
I want to say this. This is what I was thinking about, y'all. I'm thinking about Kwame Brown and how he said, certain people who come from like the bottom and they show that you can excel even no matter what the situation is. That R. Kelly kind of fit that criteria right there. He came from nothing, made his mama proud. He worked with Michael Jackson. He worked with
everybody.
And I think that one song, I Believe I Could Fly, was something that these people who I have in mind, they cannot deal with that type of mindset from a black person. Just that you can exceed past and beyond this ceiling that they have placed there. And I think that for some reason, black men in America is a real threat to these people.
Hell yeah, they have always been a threat. That's why when you look back in before in the slavery time, who did they use to intimidate the people on the plantation? They used the black man. I hear a man talk about a black man try to run away from the plantation. They caught him, brought him back, hung him in a tree in front of his family, in front of the whole community, and castrated him in front of everybody. Where the fuck did buck breaking come in at? During slavery, they took the black man and molested him in front of the whole community because they wanted the black man to feel like he had no power.
And so that's R.Kelly.
And you know what, too? What's your name again?
That's David.
David. I knew you from somewhere. You've been on Kwame's panel before, ain't you?
No, I ain't never been up
No,
there.
I thought I seen you over there. But anywho, that's also like kind of to what you were saying. Like, remember how he always be like, nowadays, like back in the day, like in the slave days, it was the white people that did everything. But now these people done switched it and have us to do it to each other. So it is exactly what you were just saying. It's our people that's keeping R.Kelly down, that done locked him up, that done came out and said he did all these egregious things. It's the truth though, but they just flipped it around because they see that they can use us to do it. They can sit back and keep their hands clean. While we'll still run up, talk about the white man hold me down. No, you're just doing the work, and he don't have to do anything. I said
no more. No,
like it's like when you're great, the enemy is after you when you got greatness inside of you. He don't come after these people that's just out here doing. I mean, if you already fucking up in life, what do the enemy got to do to you? Nothing. But that person that carry a solution, or that person that has a lot of power, because the enemy know who you are before you know. Gonna stop you at all costs. So whatever they got to throw at you, but it's unfortunate that our own people, we take down our people. Like, man, I be having to take breaks off you too, because there's some crazy Negroes on here.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Like, especially men.
I'm starting to understand that your people is really like the people who think like you.
That's it.
Who had a same heart you got.
Not look like you, think like you.
Skin doctrine, skin anything is not good. Now, you know we belong to a race of people, but the thing is, it's so many different inlets to our race of people that we, it's like all you can, you know what I'm saying? So you have to locate those who think like you.
And it takes everybody. It's if we could do it all as black people, it would be done.
Yeah, but
you have to be able to sit at the table with people that look different than you, even people that think different than you. That's the only way change is gonna come. Change ain't gonna come by us, because we, I ain't never heard nobody else say crabs in a bucket but us.
I had more white people loyal to me and put me in position than I'd have had. I done worked job with niggas I thought were my friend. Then went right behind my back and told the boss man some bullshit and cost me my job. I got kids to feed.
Snakes.
You hired me because you got me a
not
job.
All,
I'm your
but
home.
a lot.
You say I'm your homeboy. You got me on at your job, but I'm here busting my ass, and you don't like that because you a slacker. But the boss man, cool with you. He ain't cool with me. So what he gonna do? He gonna listen to you and get rid of me and keep your lazy ass. But you think that shit gonna say? So guess what? You gonna come a point in time in life you gonna need me. You gonna need me. And guess what? I'm gonna show you the difference between me and you. I'm gonna give you an opportunity, but you gonna cost yourself your job though. I ain't gonna tell a motherfucker nothing about you.
But that's being true to yourself. People out here now think, I don't know what I just don't understand. Like I said, I was on YouTube for a long time, and I was doing like back before it got popular and stuff. I was monetizing everything, but then they changed a lot of stuff, so I wasn't no more. But I'm just now like, when this R.Kelly stuff started, that's when I really started just watching different things, and I'm really generally on either the R.Kelly sector or I listen to people on the Kwame Brown side.
Yeah, but see, R.Kelly
did is crazy. Like people. I be like, I just come out of it, and I come over here on your page because I know I'm I'm gonna talk sense. We gonna laugh. We're gonna have a good
And
time.
that's what it's all about over here,
Man,
man.
people would get in your spirit. Even with some of the people over here, I had to unfollow because you think they be right, but then you sit back and you watch little stuff they do. Like,
Mhm.
like I mean, no, of course, no name, but why are you putting out to send money to this lawyer? I'm like, did the lady tweet something and say she needs some money for this man? Didn't they tell us not to send money to lawyers?
Man, we don't
Like,
like I tell those style. You know what I did?
are you
I done
trying to
got to the
sabotage this
point.
man?
I done got to the point style where I just sit back and I don't do shit. I say I'm gonna go to Chicago when the trial started in Chicago. I'm not taking directions from motherfuckers no more. Because at the end of the day,
I probably won't.
you find yourself in a bunch of shit or some type of shit that is so many eyes and yous, and ain't no goddamn we's on here. Ain't no collective efforts being
Man,
put
I
out.
done seen myself slapping people about 6 times. I said, "Yep, I know. Stay away from that." As much as I would like to come out and support, it's some people just get under my skin. You want to be like, "Shut up."
Man, shut the fuck up. That's how I be feeling sometimes. But like you know, I learned who I learned who to follow. I learned who not to follow. I don't entertain people.
I think
I
me and you
believe in
talk
the
the same
motto.
people.
My motto is say less. If you disrespect me, what the fuck am I arguing with you for? Just know you disrespecting me whenever I see you or whenever you see me. We gonna get an understanding then, because I'm not gonna do this entertaining shit on this YouTube. I come on here to talk sense. We come on here to talk about R.Kelly, the injustice of R.Kelly, the injustice of the next person who could be R.Kelly. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For these alleged victims, they victims of their parents. They not victims of R.Kelly. They victim
Man,
of their circumstances, not victims of R.Kelly. We all victim of our circumstances. We all come from poverty. We all come from bullshit. In some type of way, we all have dealt with with this a stigma that's been attached to our skin color all our life. We can't change that. No matter who you is, and what R. Kelly did was, R. Kelly was one of the only richest celebrities that dealt with average, normal people on a day-to-day basis. And that was his weakness. His heart was his weakness. He gave
but
people
that's what they get
opportunity.
crucified for, also, because our peon head people think because somebody does have a status or do have money that, well, why are you talking to the people like us? Like, I mean, you could be rich in the heart and mind, wealthy
Uh-huh.
even, and be around millionaires and be just fine. It ain't got nothing to do with how much money you got, because money will burn up tomorrow. You'll need more.
Uh-huh. You got
So,
motherfuckers running around talking about they victims. But you victims when you got motherfuckers living in poverty who only making $15,000 to $20,000 a year. This man giving you motherfuckers $60,000 a year. You middle class. Off bat just from the relationship. $60,000 a year.
I'm
What
telling you,
type of
I had
stress
about
you
in
having?
5 years, I'd have had so many businesses.
What type of stress you under getting $60,000 a year, tax-free money?
Victims is them kids that's getting kidnapped and snatched and taken across
And didn't
everywhere.
he say that
He
it's kids
said
out
that.
here
That's
really
victims.
tied
You know
up?
what I'm saying?
Man,
And man,
when
Everybody
he's
thought that man was
it's
crazy. He was
amazing.
telling
And
damn.
I guarantee you, Gail know about some.
man,
She
she
told that
knew.
man an
That
apology.
she
And she
involved
told
in
that
them.
girl.
I'm saying, but them stories that ran across her desk. Why she ain't talking about that stuff?
She had
You know what I'm saying,
man
that's my thing, man. It's kind of
Cause her
twofold. And
buddy in on
one
that
of them
mess.
is
You can't
justice
talk
for R.
about it.
Kelly and black men when they come into that court system, how they treat us, how they isolate us, and defeat us, and that's one side. The other side is they turn the blind eye to some really horrible shit that's going on. This is
uh-huh.
why we cannot just let them do what they
But
want
you
to do
know where they got their
to us.
storyline
You know
from.
what I'm saying?
Just think back
You know,
to
that's how I feel about it. So, and I feel like,
Cleveland.
and just going back, and I know I went on a thing, but I feel like if black people just stood up, they don't even have to march. They can just get there before and leave after. But if they just stood up in mass numbers it would send a shock throughout the world. And that's what we need for this
That was
justice system to understand. And not
That's
only
why
that,
our
but
kids
our
in
fellow
trouble because
Americans,
we ain't gonna
they
do
will
not.
also begin to demand that these situations be looked into. You know, we have to, we need their help, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's just period. We got to get ourselves together, but we do need to deal with these them other real situations, man, and not let that
hmm And that's
go
why they
on and
keeping
keep
people.
happening.
That's why they keeping people locked up like Larry Hoover. That's why they keeping Jeff Fort locked up because them was real community organizers, man. People like that, they had people coming out. They had people behind them. Now you don't have no community organizers no more. You don't have no real leaders. You got these activists that don't even show up when somebody's civil rights is being violated. Now it's just like it don't even matter.
I told you
Well,
they
you got
pockets
some,
getting laced.
you got some guys in Chicago. Like it's this one guy. You know, I want to give him his credit. He is a black guy. He in everywhere time something happen, he there, and he reporting on it. You know what I'm saying? And he telling what happened, he telling people what happened. And it's a lot of guys that's working in neighborhoods, so
Yeah, they do have a lot of
they got
activists in
programs.
Chicago.
You know
I
what I'm
think the
saying?
problem is they gotta come together too.
Yeah,
Like
I can't hear
it
y'all.
be like
Y'all went down for some
it be
reason.
like 5 different activists, but they just like in this sector, they might not like each other. Crazy stuff. Like if
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah, but then you
we
got
stronger
people like
together.
Al Sharpton and Ben Crump. These motherfuckers they chase a number of police homicides, or they can get paid for showing up. You know what I'm saying? Making these families settle, and these police is not even get punished for the crime they committed. Like, and people say, well, then they get set. I say, I'm gonna tell you something. If the police was in the right when they kill a civilian, ain't no fucking way the police would be giving you a settlement if they was in the right. The settlement alone let you know that they was wrong.
Hmm. Shoot, I think that here was the first time that I saw a policeman actually get a punishment and the family got a settlement. And I think they had I can't think of the boy's name. He got shot in the back. Man
Yeah,
shot
the
him with
man took out running. The police shot him in the
yeah.
back.
Oh man, listen. That's the one in Chicago should have went up about. You talk about Laquan Mcdonald, or you talk about
Nah, it was an
Nah, we
older.
talking about
Hell,
down
it
here
older
was
in
man?
Charlotte.
Yeah, I saw
yeah,
that
the
one.
one
Yeah, I
in
saw that one too.
Carolina. But
I saw
Yeah,
Laquan
that one too.
McDonald, yeah,
but
what
the man
happened with
actually
them?
went to jail and the family got a settlement. That's like, but they did take. I think they did take the settlement before he went to jail. But I think that down here they were scared that people was gonna act a fool. They was gonna convict that man, no matter what. Like,
And they did. They convicted him.
mm. And he got time. He had a new baby on the way and everything. I was like, man, this is some crazy.
Man, I
It's
can't hear
like
y'all no more. Can y'all hear me?
we
Yeah,
can hear
I hear
you.
you. It's sad though, man. It's sad, but R.Kelly, man, it just to see that this guy he was about one of the most relatable artists that you could ever just talk about, like on a Tupac type level. This dude,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Kels was for the people. He was around the people.
Remember
yeah,
back in the day
He
when he
go
used
to
to
the
imitate
gym.
Michael Jordan,
yeah,
Yeah, he go to the
when he
gym
sing
and hoop
about
with the
cheese
people.
toast. Like I
yeah.
remember way back, we used to, me and my
Uh,
sister, be like, "Oh my God, look at R. Kelly walking like Michael
yeah.
Jordan." He was
Actually, my
always
career started
silly.
with R. Kelly.
He was always a silly man. Like
Yeah, bro.
I got a client right now. Her one of her friends is like friends with somebody that was in his camp, and they have gone to multiple shows and been backstage and at the after parties. And she said he always was very respectful and would just sit back, smoke his cigar, say give you that feel of your uncle at the barbecue. Didn't see nothing crazy. So it's like, why all y'all had these crazy experiences? Even when I went to the R. Kelly concert, the man walked up to me like, y'all want to be on stage with R. Kelly? I'm like, hell yeah. Then I'm like, wait a minute. What I gotta do? Because I'm like, I don't know if he gonna put me in a damn cage, spread my legs or something. I ain't
Uh,
down with that. But it was just like a little scene where the red carpet, he came down, we got to take pictures. And then nobody tried to get me. Nobody gave me a number. So I'm like, I don't even know the validity of even to that extent. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now, I can see if the man disrespected his mama. That's something different. Well, he wouldn't have, most of the time. But a man had that type of respect for his mama. I just don't see him dogging out ladies.
Many people don't even remember when he married Drea, whatever her name is. They don't remember he married her. Cause me and my sister used to be like, "Oh, he married that lady look like a monkey." And he used to always, when he closed the show, he always brought his daughter out there. That man was a family man. I don't care what she talking about.
Man.
At the end of the show, he would always bring his little girl out there.
She's trying to live off R.Kelly. You want to divorce them?
I don't think she thought it was gonna go this far. Now she's just scared to say something. Yeah, she need to bring her butt out.
No, but I got a question for that hoe. I'm sorry to say it like that.
Knowing she been licking on some twats and everything.
She said that's my baby. She called him baby daddy. She said not you baby daddy, but she was in the car.
Yeah, when she was married.
That's my baby. Then she said not you baby daddy, but my other. And
she was singing his music. That was on Facebook.
I thought all her kids was about R.Kelly. So how the fuck is she talking about her other baby daddy?
She just was calling him baby daddy. She was talking about R.Kelly, her baby daddy. Them his children. I remember, like I followed that man forever. I remember all that when he had the first daughter, he had no more kids, because that's when he used to always bring her on the stage. At the end of his shows, he would come out on stage. She was probably about 2, and he'd be carrying her. So I'm like, when did he have time to do all that? She had 3 kids.
And the way they say you fucking and not using protection, how you gonna me tell all this nigga got 3 kids?
I mean, he like what he like, but still.
Only 3 kids though. Out of all these women who's accusing him, only 3 kids.
Right, 3 kids. One claims she had an abortion, but ain't no proof of no damn pregnancy. Her lying tale.
Man, it's all bad, man. But I just feel like Chicago is the best representatives for
Georgia girl. I can't see the dang on chat, but I'm squinching and I see you. Hey girl, hey. Ain't nobody.
All right, David back.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, man. But Chicago is the best. It's the best representation for R.Kelly. We around the world. We can keep doing what we doing, but it's gonna take the citizens to hold the district attorney accountable, the feds accountable.
I really think they're gonna represent, man. It's time when they come out.
And that damn lawyer need to come out and say something too, because she know a lot.
Yeah, that lawyer is off the chain.
Yeah. So they said she had a billboard out there that basically might as well said, if you want to sue R.Kelly, call me.
I heard it.
Say that again.
They said she had a billboard. It didn't necessarily say it, but what it depicted was, if you want to sue R.Kelly, call me. I think them people found a way to get money, and he probably don't even know who he pays settlements to.
No, he don't, because the
settlement janky ass lawyers was taking a cut of that money. That's how that girl probably ended up suing the lawyer.
Demetrius went got the girl.
That girl can't be that damn smart. What's her name?
Demetrius took the girl to Susan Logan. She had to be of age, because you can't sign a settlement if you're not 18 years old. So Demetrius took the girl to Susan. Susan sent the paperwork to Darryl McDavid. Darryl McDavid signed it, sent it back to her. They get the check. They bust that shit down the middle. Everybody get their cut, and they gone. That's how they were stealing the money. They were stealing the money through the lawsuit.
He gonna get all that money back.
All you got to do is get a forensic accountant, all that stuff. Yeah, when the dust settles, it's gonna be a bunch of people in jail, and he won't be one of them.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bunch of people in jail. R.Kelly gonna be out. All that money gonna come back. Chicago gonna be on fire. Listen, man, you talking about. Listen. The future for Chicago is off the chain. Hey, they've been trying to stunt on us, man. They went and got the king of R&B and put him in the cage, man. Trying to put his eyes out so he can't see. But man, his vision still clear, man. And then on top of all of that, right? First and foremost, it's a whole bunch of saints praying for R. Kelly, bro. You know what I'm saying? They going before the Father interceding because they see what the devil is trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Now the devil, he will try to convict us on things that we did. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord will cover us. You know what I'm saying? And vindicate us, man. And so I say the time that he spent in there, that he's spending in there,
It was
you
needed.
know, it's needed, it's necessary. You know what I'm talking about? For this next phase we about to go into, y'all about to witness the biggest blow up in the history of America, man. I was just so glad to
Hey,
be a
David.
part of it, man.
What they say when them people
Whoa.
went back to that, when they went back to that grave to see if Jesus was still there.
It
On
wasn't
the
there,
third
man.
day.
And it wasn't there.
On
You
that
feel me?
third day.
It's almost like some Jesus stuff, man. The way this dude about to come back on the scene, man.
I'm
I'm
telling
like,
you.
man, dog, it's crazy. It's really crazy when I just think about it, man. But
What's
I
your
am,
email, Vi?
Hold
I
on. I'll put it in the private chat.
All right. Because I'm going to email you this video. You can put it on your page. I got to share that with you. Yeah. I always tell people that's God's child no matter what. So get ready.
All right,
it
man. He
really,
anointed, man. For the dude to be talented as he is, to have a disability that he have, and to be able. But when you hear him talk, you won't
hey,
even know. If you didn't know he had a disability and you just listen to him talk, you will never know because he make everything make sense.
I
hey,
mean,
listen.
it's even that
What
he
y'all
can't
need
read.
to,
It's a different way
what
he
y'all
has
got to
to learn.
remember, what y'all got to remember is he talked to Mike and Prince. So he know what they was doing to Mike. He witnessed what they was doing to Mike, man. For them, for R. Kelly, for them to think that R. Kelly or say that R. Kelly did what he did after the fact, this is why I don't believe that. And this is why so much more I believe like it's a setup, against him for whatever, whatever it is, whatever the reason is, but it's deeper than that, man. It's bigger than that. It's like what they try to do to Bill Cosby. And
Shit.
they just try to do that with Bill Cosby, and they put it at the wrong time. And I really think Bill Cosby is way smarter than them, and he already probably saw it coming and was prepared for it. And that's gonna pan out to be something greater than what we looking at right now. I believe also.
And shout
So
out to Bill for throwing the alley hoop, man, and
yeah,
believing in R. Kelly innocence
And
because
you
yeah,
know
no
he
doubt.
had to.
Felicia
For some reason,
Rashad
I seen
said,
that coming
Felicia,
2 weeks before it happened. When he got out and he said he got railroaded, I immediately looked up Bill Cosby net worth. And then 2 weeks later, here he had this lawyer. I'm like, My spirit didn't go there for nothing.
and I was just surprised that a lot of people that he has helped did not just really. At some point, this is what I don't like about
These people ain't
people
allowed to,
our
or they
culture,
gonna lose
man.
their stuff. It takes
But
for somebody
style
to be
though,
like they don't care.
right? Style, but and what is it gonna take for us to realize that we gotta say, man, fuck all this shit at this point? Cause guess what? If you believe, if I was R. Kelly, if I was one of his friends or whatever, somebody like that he did music with, and I believe truly that he's innocent, what is it worth more? Who got the most to gain when he's proven innocent? And I sacrifice my career and say, look,
yeah, that's a
that
hard
man,
question, dog. That's you talking about people with no honor. You want them to be honorable.
When you
Like,
when you
people that
when you
do
serve the
anything for
devil,
money.
that's how you act.
Yeah,
right?
man, they loud. You,
Now
you,
I
you
understand.
expect a lot from them.
I understand that. I understand that part. That's the part that's the part that the people know that niggas are not going to do. They're not going to sacrifice their self to help the next nigga.
Right,
But when you look at all these other people, we just talked about the dollar, right?
right.
A dollar in the Asian community lasts 28 days, almost a month. But the dollar in the black community only lasts 6 hours. Because guess what? Style can have a grocery store, but guess what? I'm not gonna go shop with her because she look like me. I'm gonna go spend my money with the Asian.
Yeah. I think I think a lot of that is changing. A lot of that is changing. So we are becoming more conscious of and responding to one another better, man. I just see it, and I just want it to grow. It's been like that in the past, but I've seen some growth, especially when I listen to guys like you, and then when I go out into the YouTube and I listen to different people, I see a type of awakening happening, consciousness happening where it's not like it was, and if it keep on going at this rate, this is what we need, and it's all culminating.
Stay focused on that aspect, it will continue to grow. But it's so hard because people want to punch back, fight back. You gotta stay focused.
You gotta
because
stay
it
focused,
is a whole
man.
lot of people waking up and starting to see and starting to say. But we get sidetracked so easy.
Yeah, because like you say, what they say, God working on me, but he ain't finished yet. Sometimes you have to go back and remind a motherfucker where you came from. But sometimes you're gonna have to realize that at some point you're gonna have to pick and choose
Pick your battles.
You gotta pick and choose what to entertain and what not to entertain. See, with R.Kelly, he didn't entertain none of this bullshit. It all came to him. But what he did do as a man, he stood tall in his faith and he believed I'm innocent. Motherfucker, oh, he need to speak. What he speaking for? If I ain't doing shit, what am I talking for?
Yeah.
Bill Cosby case is a clear example of what talking can get you. What did they do to Bill Cosby? Oh, we want you to give a statement, but we want you to give a statement that we're not going to come after you behind this statement. We're going to seal it and put it away. These motherfucking, the government in Pennsylvania, what they did, they took the man's statement. When he took the statement, they sealed it. But then they took that judge off his case and put another judge on the case. Soon the judge got on, soon they changed judges. The new judge went straight to Bill Cosby case, unsealed the documents, used the documents to bring charges against him. They play a dirty game.
Right, and that judge should be locked up.
They play a dirty. How is Bill Cosby case the first? How is Bill Cosby the first person shit come on your desk when you get in the chair?
Right.
Well, we gonna see sooner or later. I think our girl, she in a tough cookie right now. She got to figure out how can I do this without getting in trouble.
She already in trouble. What else?
I don't feel like she can't
Who Donnelly?
Yeah.
Y'all talking about the judge?
I think she can't do nothing. If she can't do nothing else, she got to say new trial. She's too much of a punk to say acquittal. But that man deserve a new trial off the dang on jury alone.
Yeah,
off that text message with that mama.
He deserve acquittal for what they did up there.
But he deserve a new trial, so just rip a whole new asshole in them damn girls.
He need a new trial, man. I want to say, I don't know if I should say closed or open, because I think everybody want to see information.
Open and put them girls back on the stand and let Jennifer have her way.
Yeah.
The world need to see.
The world need to see, like that lawyer that he got right now. Yeah, the world need to see her question them, cause she not playing. She all the way on it. Like I understand where she going with her questions. Like I can understand, you know what I mean, and see how they should have. They should have granted everything that she was asking for. So I'm interested. I want to see, but definitely a new trial.
And wanted to say, she too emotionally embedded in this case.
She should have never let that mess go when she called Azriel a liar in that court case. She knew that girl was lying.
She even allowed these. Now the shit that he was charged with, she she allowed the government during the trial to go and change the language of the charges to fit the testimony of the fucking witnesses. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. You shouldn't be able to do all that stuff, all the stuff that happened in R. Kelly case, man. Man, please, man. It couldn't have been no Italian. It couldn't have been no Chinese.
Cut out all them unnecessary witnesses. All we need is the ones he got charged with to come back to the court case.
If it go to Supreme Court, you already see what they just. I showed a video of Supreme Court how
I
they
seen
play.
that video.
Supreme Court say that's presidential when you bring all.
They had like 21 extra people. That was worse than that case.
The man was being charged for. The man was being charged for three women. They brung 20 uncharged acts in there to testify of his behavior. The Supreme Court.
So what exactly was that? I think I saw that too on YouTube. What was that?
Huh?
What was that about?
Oh, that was the man. He was being charged with rape. He was being charged with rape. But one of the women that he was being charged for rape with, he was in a 5-year relationship with her after the simple fact that she said he raped her.
This is R. Kelly?
No, it wasn't R. Kelly. It was a similar case compared to R. Kelly.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
but it showed
used a bunch of extra people to throw out bad characters.
Right. I saw it. It was like she was in the center of like a bunch of lady judges, right?
The lady was like, "Why did you have to bring them in? You had these witnesses that could have proved your point. Why do you have all these extra people?"
She said that's to create fire in the hearts of the jury, and that's presidential. She said
they threw a whole bunch of spaghetti on the wall to see what noodles stuck.
She told that motherfucker. She said, "Look, we have criminals coming in here every day with a mile-long rap sheet." She said, "But just because they got a mile-long rap sheet, they ain't on trial based on their life. We can only allow them to use maybe one or two things that's similar to that fits what they're going through that they've been charged with. But you can't have a whole fucking rap sheet to try to make it about a person's life. You know, Supreme Court is not gonna play with the prosecutors or Ann Donnelly or none of them.
Or even why didn't they? I mean, really for real, why they didn't bring nobody in that could speak good to But then nobody really speak bad on R. Kelly if you think about it. Even the people that felt like he did something wrong to them, his employees couldn't even really say nothing bad.
Man, the only thing they said bad was he doxed their pay.
He docked our pay. No, I never seen any underage girls. We had to get their ID, take a picture, have them to sign the NDA. Everybody testified that. Even the one lady, when old girl tried to say he left her on the bus. No, it was time for her to graduate, and she had to stay behind and finish her work. I said, so you mean tell me the man that kidnapped your daughter made sure she graduated? When y'all asses didn't, I would kidnap you, but you gonna get your diploma. That's bullshit.
Man,
he treated her like her daddy should have been treating her. He made sure
I played the
video.
School. I played that video that showed her every time that she said she wasn't allowed to talk to her parents. Then on one interview, she go back and say, Robert would ask me, is this your parents' number? She said,
he didn't want to talk to them people because the grass was greener and that man was taking good care of her. She got over there and was like, oh, y'all been beating me up to sing and everything else. I ain't going back. I mean, she said it best. That little girl's hurt. She said, what in that letter that she allegedly wrote her brother, and she said, what kind of parents would do this to their child? One part I was sad, the other part I was happy. She was happy to get away from the motherfucker, but she was sad that they would either pimp her out. She's a child, you know what I mean? She a ruthless ass little girl, but she was groomed to be that.
She's accessory to the fact. That's what she is now. She ain't no child.
She was groomed to be that. Now she just operated out of pure anger. That's why she threw her damn parents under the bus. She was throwing R.Kelly under the bus.
Kim Fox locked R.Kelly up and wanted everybody to come lock R.Kelly up.
With her messed up ass hairline.
That bitch like a monkey, man.
Kim Fox let Justin Smollett go. that she is involved in both of them cases. She locked R. Kelly up.
But she
Like,
recused herself from Jesse case, but went in the background and wrote letters, leniency letters to the prosecutors to have to be light on them. But how you recuse yourself?
So that happened on Kim Fox watch. That's all I'm saying. I don't know the particulars of it. When I look at it, to me, Kim Fox let Justice Smollett go, and she locked R. Kelly up, and she asked for all the help in the world.
Remember they talking about them text messages when they were saying it was a bullshit case? I don't even think they thought that was gonna get R. Kelly convicted.
What killed me with this when they said, hold on, that damn Kim Fox boy, she say they checked the hotline, but all the people that was on there leaving messages was saying nothing but good things about R. Kelly. So that's why they weren't even able to use the hotline.
That's what I tell them ladies at work. I said I could have called that hotline and said he did something to me, and I'd have been in the case.
But you remember, well, you're around when Hollywood called TMZ. Hollywood Next called TMZ and said she knew R. Kelly. So they asked her, then they wanted to know. But see, if she would have had a negative story about it, they were gonna run it. But she told them, she wasn't calling in to speak negative of R. Kelly. She had some good things to say about him. Them motherfuckers hung up.
I came in like when whatchamacallit was still in there when Dana first came out. What was the one lady name?
Phaser.
Yeah, I came in right when that happened, and then I remember Dana came. And then I remember them twins and the one man. Then I fell off for a long time. When I came back on, that's when I found Hollywood, and I was still.
She was on a little bit, but she had.
And I was at that time I was listening to the voodoo lady's daughter.
Man, that crazy motherfucker.
Until I started watching her movements, I was like, man, this bitch crazy as hell. I don't know why these people following her up.
A lot of these motherfuckers.
Man, she make my spirit. Oh, she vexed me so bad. Don't nobody understand. I'll be like. She a whole punk and a demon at the same time. I'm sorry.
These motherfuckers are iguanas, man. Motherfuckers who can change colors to appear to be whatever.
I'm sorry. You can't have 2 pages and be dirty on one and come on this one and say, we're going to do our affirmations today.
Right.
You a double-minded motherfucker and you unstable in all your ways and see, somebody going to beat you up one day.
And the thing about it, then they make it seem like shit so like you have to pick sides and this, that, and the third. It ain't no
your own man in this.
The only side on this in this shit is either you for Kel or you're against Kel. You can't
and what
say
sound
you for,
right. You know what I mean? What's true?
Yeah, you can't say you
ain't gotta be messy in this stuff.
Your actions is hurting him, but then you saying you for him. It don't make sense.
And that's why we at now. People talk too much. Sometimes I'll be like, damn, why can't some people just shut up sometimes?
Man, I say that shit all the time. That's why I started changing my channel. I tell people all the time, I don't know nothing about R. Kelly. I only know things that we hear that come out in the paperwork. I say, but his personal life, I know nothing about. I say, I come on here and I speak real life situations. I speak situational living. You know what I'm saying? I speak circumstance that people could possibly be in. So we get on here, we talk about what could possibly happen. Or we say, well, then if you kidnap, how you kidnap in a room that got a window and it also got a door that locks from your side and not like the shit that they were saying. Oh, we were locked in the room.
And a toilet in that motherfucker.
We were locked in the room. How you locked in the room? Like lock on? Who put a lock on the outside in the hallway? That don't make sense. So the lock was in the inside of the car, in the inside of the room with you, so you could have easily unlocked the door.
Was locked. No one was locked.
No, a lot of this shit they said, but you know what, man? If you think about, do you remember I'm gonna tell you the storyline they ran with, and this is the picture that they wanted everybody to see. People ain't pay attention to this. This is the picture that they try to paint in everybody's head. When they said R. Kelly was running the coat, women chained up in basement. You know where that image come from? And everybody went back to this image. Do you remember the area Castro in Cleveland, Ohio, when they showed the pictures of those 3 girls he had chained up in their house, chained up to radiators, all type of shit, having kids. So in the news, when the media
and just look how they got out though. in the long run. Now, if you want to say somebody was messed up, you can go to that case, but not the other case.
But the media used that case in things that took place in that case, and they was using that shit to describe what was going on.
Asante was that man that.
Yeah, I was sitting on my porch eating Big Mac, and I heard a boom, boom, boom. I know that's my friend's house. Nobody there. So I put my Big Mac down.
Clary.
I put my Big Mac down. I went over there. I heard somebody holler, "Help! Help! Help!" I went over and say, how you get in there?" She say, "My name Amanda Berry. I've been kidnapped," or whatever you say. So she come out of there. You say, "Look, I knew there was something wrong when a white girl ran to a black man." Or boy, I felt like.
If I was still living in Cleveland when that happened, well, when he first took them.
I knew it was something when a white girl ran to a black man on.
And he got history. All right, I'm about to slide back down in this chat. I'm about to eat some ribs.
Okay.
All right, so look.
Yeah, thank you for coming up.
All right.
Yeah, hey Dave, you remember hearing that story?
What story?
About the guy Ariel Castro in Cleveland, Ohio.
Had the people in the house for a long time.
Yeah. Now you think about how they describe those women that were chained up in their house, chained up to radiators, chained up to the basements, having kids with having abortions and shit. And then just think about what they were describing when they talk about R.Kelly.
Exactly. You feel me?
You see what I'm saying? So
hey, yeah, I bet anybody watching it would want to take that little money, man. So hey, look, man. Hey, it's a total difference.
You see what I'm saying? It's two different situations, but they use that case because people are familiar with that Ariel Castro shit, so they explain the details of a cult. So now when people hear, he running the cult, they thinking about this Cleveland shit. Oh, he got girls chained up in the basement. He got what? Oh shit, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Now this is the image that people are seeing, but it is nothing like that.
Right. That's exactly. And then they got a way of painting their picture and putting it on you, like projection, they call it.
Yeah.
So people got to pay attention because, like, what they be accusing other people of, they are actually guilty of. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's one way to find out who really is. It's like the loudest people is the most guilty people. So the ones that most at R.Kelly, man, it's almost like they guilty of that crime the way it works. According to my theory with the projection theory, you know what I'm saying?
Because it's always something. Everything is they always need a front. They always need something put out in front so they can do something in the back. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do this out in the public, but then the government don't operate in the public fashion. They always operate in private. So we're going to put this out in the public, and then in private, this is what we doing in the background. You know what I'm saying? What are they in the background? What they doing is they stealing all the man fucking music and all masters and everything else they own. And guess what? When they satisfied with everything that they took, they gonna let them go.
Yeah. Hey, look, did you remember when they did they took probably everything from the the only thing he got left is us. So they took, that's all he got left. They probably took everything. I just believe we're gonna get it back. You know what I'm saying? But I was just thinking about go ahead though. I maybe it'll come back to me. What was the thought?
But a lot of that money he gonna get back from those settlements anyway, because he got a real lawyer that's gonna go through this shit. A lot of these lawsuits and shit.
Man, he got whole news stations that's gonna be sued. He probably sued the news stations out of business. They probably become R.Kelly news stations.
And that motherfucker Jim Derrick Goddess you sitting here going around parading these people to be victims, but then they ask you to testify, you won't plead the fifth. How are you able? How is any of your testimony relevant if you're not even willing to testify to the shit that you alleging?
Man, that's crazy. This case, man, I'm talking about. This the case from hell right here, boy. It's the case from hell right here, and it's like all the people that's involved is devils, and
All
they
right,
don't want
darling, enjoy yourself.
devils.
Man, this is what we up against, David. Man, we're
Yeah.
gonna have to bring it together, man. And tomorrow, I know you had said earlier something we could talk about was the people coming together, the what it means for the community, and what it means for the blacks, for people of color to come together. What can make the difference? Tomorrow, man, I'm gonna do a live. I'm gonna try to get my brother on here, my brother Malik, another cool dude, and
Okay.
we, just want to talk about what can be the difference in us coming together, other than trying to fight this shit in a fashion that we fighting in. We got somebody fighting on this side, somebody on this side, and we not making no progress, man. We're gonna have to bring it all together in order to see the change that we want to see.
Well, it's simple, man. Before we even get started, the children and the family and the image of a man is that's what my fight is. I'm a man. It look like I'm about to be one of the last of a dying breed, the way it looked. But I feel like I'm a man made in the image of God. I feel like God's plans for me as a man to have a woman and to raise godly children in fear and admonition of the Lord. That's my foundation. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I'm God first, man. That don't mean you got to be perfect. That means you got to recognize that He God though, and you put Him first, and then everything else gonna fall in place. Now, that's just my simple synopsis of what I mean, how we come together. But the children will be unified. You don't have to be in the same religion to honor God. You know what I'm saying? But the children and the honor for God, I believe, is a unifier for the community.
Most definitely, and that's what we gotta do, man. We gotta start working on the next generation to come, because the ones that has already came, they out here roaming, they using their own GPS. So
right, they gonna kill each other off. You know what I'm saying? That's how that's looking. So we gotta focus on the ones that's coming now, and we gotta grab their ear and their attention, and cause that's who the devil at. The devil at the kids. So we got to be at the kids. You know what I'm saying? And constantly be there to protect them and to guide them, man. That's the whole really thing is to remove that. And it's been a plot to remove the father. We say that we seen it, and we see the effects of it, and we have a chance to readjust that, so we'll pick that up on the next one, guys.
Oh yeah, tomorrow afternoon, man, about 12 o'clock, man.
Okay, cool.
Most definitely, man. I appreciate you, dude. I appreciate you for coming through, though, bro. Like I say, man, we're gonna keep on having these type of conversations, and maybe we get more and more people to join in, more and more people to put input in it. And this is what's gonna make the difference, man. The more people that we can make aware, more people that we can, help gain knowledge, and keep putting the information out there. Trust me. And for you to be in the shop, man, that speaks volumes, because now when you go around and you used to go when you do have them when you was having them conversations, you had a little bit of knowledge, but we want to make sure we get you caught up on a lot of your knowledge, so where you can go and find it at, where you can go look for this at, look for that at. So when you talking, I ain't gotta tell you, motherfucker, I'm gonna show you. You can take your phone and go find what I'm talking to you about. You know what I'm saying? So because
I was just butt naked out here, just wrestling from the standpoint you know, man, you know, this our people, man. You know they be lying. You know they could be
Right.
lying. So, you know, I didn't have all the facts and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, you know that do add to it. So yeah, man, and that's what we need. Each one teach one, right? Iron sharpen
All,
iron. You know what I'm
already,
saying?
brother. Hey, man,
Yeah.
like I say, you my senior, so hey, you my senior. So if I can help you, goddamn me, then I'm gonna help you because I know you can tell me some shit that you done seen that when I get to that point, that can help me. You know,
Yes, sir.
and that's
Yes,
just what
sir.
life's about, man.
That's
That's
what
what
it's
life's
about,
about.
man. That's what it's about, big guy. That's what it's about,
Already.
baby.
So man, I appreciate you for coming through, man. Tomorrow, man, 12 o'clock a.m. p.m. 12 o'clock
Okay.
p.m., bro. We gonna be on. We gonna be talking about bringing the community together, man.
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right.
sir. All right. Peace.
That was brother David, man. That was brother David, y'all. That was brother David. Big vibe in my new little spot, you know, real little cozy. I ain't doing too much. Saturday. Ain't got no work to do today. I don't know what I'm gonna get into today. I appreciate y'all for coming over, chilling with Big Vi, kicking it with Big Vi. You know, like I say, man, Chicago, man, Chicago stand up for Kels. Chicago stand up for Kels. Hey, Chicago, Kels need y'all. If y'all got y'all make sure y'all stand up for Kels, man. Cause guess what? When Kels come home, guess what? He gonna do it for Chicago. Y'all know Kels Chicago crazy, man. You know, you can't mention Chicago without mentioning Kels. You know what I'm saying? You can't mention Chicago without mentioning Kels, man. So Chicago, make sure y'all stand up for Kels, man. Make sure y'all show up. Chicago, make sure y'all put out. Chicago, make sure y'all demand questions. Make sure y'all demand answers from these prosecutors and DAs in Chicago. Y'all want to know what's going on with Kels. Y'all want to know why they handle them the way that they handle them. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell y'all this, Chicago. If y'all let them get away with doing Kels like this, and y'all ain't got no status, I feel sorry for y'all. They gonna sweep y'all up off the street, and ain't nobody gonna even miss you. Ain't nobody gonna even miss you. What up, bro? What up, Levi? What up, brother Levi? What's good, man? I'm just on here. I was on here today with the brother David, sister Styles. You know what I'm saying? We're just on here, just speaking on a lot of different things and what it's gonna really take to make the difference when it comes to bringing awareness and taking a stance when it comes to this R.Kelly segment. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Kels have given so much to Chicago. He has put so much into Chicago. Right now is the time for Chicago to stand up. Right now is the time for Chicago to come together and demand answers to what is going on with R. Kelly and why is his case being handled the way that it's being handled. Chicago, this R. Kelly shit means more to you all as citizens than it means to us in the whole world. It's a big deal for the world, but it's a real big deal for the city of Chicago that you all district attorneys are handling cases like this and falsely convicting people or falsely arresting people and holding them hostage simply because a person can go down and make a claim about you. And these people didn't make no claim. So when I say Chicago, y'all need to understand what's really going on with this case. Chicago, R. Kelly wasn't being investigated before this docu-series came out. You know how we know that, Chicago? Because y'all district attorney said it herself. There was no open investigation on Robert Sylvester Kelly until after the docu-series. So with that alone, Chicago, y'all need to go ask this lady, how is that? What proof was that for y'all to come at this man with a case? Chicago, this is what y'all have to do. We the people around the world, we can talk about what's going on, but we don't vote in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? We don't pay taxes in Chicago. So If y'all taxpayer dollars is going to funding the government and the DA and all this, Chicago, y'all need to demand questions. Y'all need to demand answers. Y'all need to be out there saying, look, we ain't gonna let y'all take one of our citizens off the street based on hearsay. This is what Chicago has to do. We doing our part as people, as supporters around the world. We doing our part by talking about it. We doing our part about bringing. As supporters around the world, we doing our part by keeping this conversation relevant. We doing our part by talking about this. We doing our part by sharing the information. We doing everything that we can do. But we can't do nothing without Chicago putting the foot forward first. Chicago has to step forward first. Chicago has to be the leaders. You know what I'm saying? Chicago, y'all got the support around the world. But until Chicago, the city of Chicago, the citizens of Chicago, the citizens of Illinois, y'all have to come forward and demand answers from y'all government, y'all district attorneys to say what is going on. Why is this going on? Where is our money going to? Chicago, y'all need to understand why is Jesse Smollett not in prison? Chicago, y'all need to understand. Y'all need to be asking questions. Why is this man able to be free? You know what I'm saying? Chicago, y'all can make the change. Chicago, y'all can make the difference. Stop voting for people because they look like you. You know what I'm saying? Just because you look like me don't mean you act like me. Understand me? Just because you look like me don't mean you act like me. You know what I'm saying? We can't put our sister in a position and we know she don't like the. We can't help our sister get a job where we work at and we know our sister don't like to work. You know what I'm saying? We can't help our brother get a job where we work at and we know our brother don't like to work. Telling y'all. So we can't put people in an office that's supposed to help us when they don't give a damn about us. Understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Your brother, can you get me on at your job? Hell no, nigga. You don't even like getting up in the morning. What I like getting you a job for? But yeah, man, Chicago. We, the people, need Chicago to come out. We need Chicago to step up. And we need Chicago to demand answers. And I'm out. Big Val opinion. Peace out. Thanks everybody for coming.